Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm Sabrina Daly.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
And What the Friday?
What the Friday?
It is Friday, and we also want to say a special good morning to our TikTok fans as well. Good morning, guys. And as you know how it works over here, when we transfer over to our main live, we do have to turn this one off. But we wish you guys a happy Friday and a safe weekend. Let me end this here. Yesterday was so funny because I locked the phone, and this is kind of like the work phone. It's a lot. But good morning, guys. How you doing this morning? Thank you so much for locking in with us, closing off the week for What the Friday.
Yeah.
We have some wonderful conversations to look forward to. I know that you are missing the third member of the What the Friday lineup, host lineup. April is a little bit under the weather this morning, and so we sent her healing energy and healing prayers, and hopefully she can be back with us fresh and ready to take on the week next week.
Yeah, indeed. I am looking forward to hearing from you all this morning in our call-in segment for you to share your thoughts. There's a lot of things on the table for us to discuss, and we'll get into that. But first, let's jump into our show lineup for today, Sabrina.
That's right. As you know, for the month of March, we've been sitting down with women in various sectors, women and girls in various sectors doing their part in being change agents. Last week, we spoke to an engineer and a student doing architecture and electrical as well at her high school. Well, this week, we'll be joined by women leaders or young women leaders, and they are a part of their school's student government. And so we'll be chatting with them as well. I'm looking forward to that. But also, as you know, on Fridays, we open the phone lines. You guys get to call in and share your thoughts on various topics, whether local and international. We want to hear from you as well. And then finally, Paul, this was a game we wanted to play last week, but we were not able to. So I am looking forward to it. It's like a memory game. You can call it the ultimate counting game. And I don't want to give too much away, but it's definitely going to be hilarious. So stay locked in for that.
Excellent. And so that's three activities or events that we have planned for this morning. And we also have our call-in segment. We will be discussing some very important issues this morning. And this call-in segment, as Sabrina mentioned, comes immediately after the conversation with the female voices on student councils. We'll be looking at the fact that Minister Fonseca responded to the conversation surrounding the return of Joseph Budna, essentially shooting down the proposal or the proposal made by, or the comments made by the Prime Minister earlier this week that they would do somewhat of a prison swap for Budna. We also see where the Bresenia administration is rethinking the Cuban Medical Brigade partnership. As the days go by, I feel like we're revealing and peeling away at the mystery of what will happen with the Cuban Medical Brigade here in Belize. And all signs are pointing towards severance of severing of relationship to some degree. To what degree? I think that is what we're waiting to see. But we know that there will be a severing of ties to some degree, just based on what we've heard from the Prime Minister and from the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Yesterday, a big announcement coming out of the ICJ. Guatemala was cleared to intervene in the Sapodilla Keys dispute. And I know that caused a lot of uproar or angst on social media and among just people I was having conversations with. It's important to note that they were cleared to participate as non-parties. Question is, what does it mean to be a non-party, right?
Yeah.
And the significance of that and the outcome of the Sapodilla Keys case.
And does this have some type of bearing on what the outcome could be in general?
Yeah.
That Belize, of course, is talking about.
I don't personally think or know that is something to be frantic about.
Yeah. But I know that Belizeans
we'll
are tying it to that.
Well, it's very important to tie to that, and that is why we'll talk about
Yes.
it. Fourth, Fonseca blasts the Feinstein group over what he is dubbing a smear campaign, and that has to do with the entire situation involving Mr. Mast, as well as the Secretary of State, and that letter that was sent to request an investigation into Belize's investment climate. And last but certainly not least, we're still on the issue of fuel prices and global fuel prices as they continue to trend upwards. Fertilizer costs is also seeing an effect by way of that. But what really are the government's options at this point in time?
We heard that it's only going to raise even more.
It is going to raise even more. So I think that's a conversation we have to have this morning. What's on the table for the government? We've been here before.
Yeah.
This is not the first time we're seeing a spike in fuel prices globally. We could look at some of what they've done before and how practical it is for them to perhaps revisit some of those measures and implement them now in a time, I guess, where we've never seen fuel prices go up to the level that is being projected that it will reach this time around. So we can look at some of what the government options are, what the options are for the government on the table this morning. And so this is in general some of the conversations we have lined up for a call-in segment.
Yeah.
And the important thing is we want to hear from you. We could spend a lot of time up here talking, but I think we've done a lot of that this week.
Yes.
And we will continue to do it next week. So we want to hear from you, whatever thoughts you have. Don't feel shy, don't feel afraid. This is a learning environment, and none of your answers are wrong unless you say, I don't look handsome and Sabrina don't look beautiful this morning. Then you're absolutely wrong.
Yeah, he's right, I think. But we do have to take a quick break. But don't go anywhere. When we come back, we are going to be joined by some young leaders at their schools, student government, presidents, and we'll be having a talk with them about their roles and, of course, their ambitions as well. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
In the heart of the Cayo district, Calico Jacks is proving that sustainability and success can go hand in hand.
When Calico Jacks wanted to move to solar energy, the biggest difficulty for us was the finance. Belize Bank believed in our vision, and we are very happy and grateful that they gave us this opportunity for the financing.
Through the Credit Risk Abatement Facility, a partnership between Belize Bank and the CARICOM Development Fund, small and medium businesses can access financing for renewable and energy-efficient solutions with reduced collateral requirements.
Here at SCSB, we're grateful for Belize Bank to make it easy for our clients to go green. We're proud to work with businesses like Calico Jacks to help them lower their costs and their carbon footprint.
At Belize Bank, we are powering Belize's transition to renewable energy, one business at a time. Together with our partners, we're making sustainable financing accessible for all.
Belize Bank, financing a greener, stronger Belize.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Introducing BB Insurance, built for Belize. Your security, our priority.
Finally, a postpaid plan for 3 people. Introducing Smart Trio. Why pay for mobile service alone when you can share and save? Get unlimited national calls, texts, plus 100 gigabytes of shared data. And the best part? It's only $135. That's right, as low as $45 per person. Perfect for small families, couples, or close friends. Smart Trio, 3 lines, 1 smart choice. Sign up now and you could win a Trio getaway to San Pedro for 3. Visit us at www.smart-bz.com for more information or sign up at any showroom today. Smart, bringing people together.
We at Full Tech Systems understand that technology isn't just a tool, it's a game changer. At home, smart devices and AI are revolutionizing daily life. In education, tech is making learning more interactive and accessible for students and educators alike. For businesses and government, it's driving innovation, streamlining operations, and unlocking growth, leveraging tech for better services, infrastructure, and security. At Full Tech Systems, we help you thrive with cutting-edge solutions, partnering with leaders like Dell, HP, Microsoft, APC, Fortinet, Cisco, and Tomy Inc. We deliver the right products for your needs, whether it's boosting efficiency, improving customer engagement, or scaling operations. Connect with us and let's drive innovation together. Full Tech Systems, your technology center, where you come for the price, but stay for the service.
Welcome back. This is our first conversation, and as we mentioned before the break, For the past few weeks, in the month of March, we have been sitting down with women and girls in leadership in various sectors and areas of their life. Last week, we spoke to an engineer and an electrician, a young electrical student. This morning, we are speaking to some young women in leadership at their school as well. I am delighted to introduce you guys to Favor Joy Hammond. She is the president of the Social Media Club at her school. She's also an executive pair helper as well at Edward P. Ark High School. Good morning, Favor Joy. It's a pleasure to have you here again with us this morning. In the middle, we have Sarah Safa. She is the president of the St. Catherine's Academy Student Council as well. And I know that you just came off the heels of election season, so I remember your campaign. I was so excited for you. Congratulations, President. And also here with us is Madison Williams. She is the treasurer of the Belize High School Student Council. Good morning to you, Madison. It's a pleasure having you here with us. I know you've also been here with me before. And in a moment, we'll also be joined by Melody Magani. She's the vice president of Sadie Vernon's Student Council as well. So we'll also welcome her when she comes in. But ladies, thank you so much for joining me this morning. It's a pleasure having you all here. I've met each one of you before in somewhere or another. I believe, Madison, you've been here with us probably highlighting something related to debating.
Yes. I've been there for our debate program Standpoint, which recently took place in February at school.
I remember that. Sarah, I know that you are also an athlete. And so you are big with volleyball, and you've also been on the news several times before, shining a light on Belize's performance with the Stars Club, I believe, as well. Yes. And then, of course, we have Favor Joy. She's a student leader in all facets. And so I believe we've also had you on the couch with us when we were highlighting something related to children in media, and you were interviewing me and Paul. I remember that. You were putting us in the hot seat. Well, this morning, it's a pleasure having you guys here and shining a spotlight on your individual journeys and your aspirations as well. Happy Women's Month.
Happy Women's Month to you too.
Yeah. Well, I want to learn a little bit about each and every one of you, and perhaps dive into what brought you guys to putting yourself out there, wanting to be leaders. I'm not talking the athlete aspect or the debate aspect or, you know, being in the media chair. I want to know why you guys decided that you wanted to be leaders at your school. Let's begin with you, Favor Joy.
Well, it started off in first form. When I first entered EP York, like, I don't know, I was still finding myself. And I remember Mr. Jacobs, our counselor at the time, was like, why don't you try like poetry? Why don't you do the poetry competition? So I did that. I won. I was surprised. And then afterwards, like, it started to become a continuous thing. So my school was like, well, we see that you like performing and stuff like that. So how do you feel about like getting into the peer helper program? So I joined the peer helper program, and then I was like, I feel like I have leadership abilities. So that's when I became the president, and then like you led on, and now I'm an executive.
Yeah. When you said you felt like you had leadership abilities, what did that look like to you in your mind? What did you think a leader should portray?
Well, I love interacting with people. That's something I love. And I've always liked the aspect of helping others. And I feel like a good leader is somebody that has the interests of the people rather than themselves. So I was like, if I could help you and give back, I was like, definitely, this is something I think I could do.
Yeah. How about you, Sarah? What brought you to leadership? You're a busy lady. You are, you know, in sports and all of that, and I imagine trying to balance school and everything. But what made you decide to go a step further?
So before I entered SCA, I've had my sisters there, and I've seen the leadership positions that they were in, and I was like, wow, that's gonna be me one day. And I think it was just since I was younger, I've always had that ability to lead, and I've always just wanted to help others and just put myself out there. So when I got into first form, I went for like class president, and I won, and that was really nice. And I just continued to grow in second form, and then I was like, I should try to run for student council, and I actually ran for the secretary position, and I won, and I got to do my full year with that council, which is amazing. I loved that year. And when I got to third form, I realized I want to do it again. I want to do it again for my last year. And I was like, let me go for president. And I went for it and I won. And now I get to do it again for my last
Girl,
year.
you're taking no L's. Like, you're just winning everything.
I think it's not just about winning for me. It's just about helping others and just seeing like the events that we do and seeing the smiles on people's faces. Just truly like, it makes me so happy to see like, wow, we did that, like we pulled that off.
Well, you go to an all-girls school, so I imagine your experience might have been a little bit different when it came to interacting with your peers and convincing them that you, as a female, among many other female, should be the one that they should decide on when it comes to leading the school or leading the class. But, you know, if I could think of how I felt when I was in high school, I might have been a little bit intimidated by the idea of putting myself out there and saying, I would like to be your leader. I would like to be the voice of this classroom or the voice of the school. Did that ever cross your mind, feeling a little bit intimidated by the challenge? Or did you just know from the jump that this is what you wanted?
I think I knew from the jump, like that's what I wanted to do, and I just went for it.
You know what? That's something special right there. And we also have here with us Madison Williams. Now, she is a talented debater, and I would never want to get in a challenge with her and argue anything. Madison, tell me about your journey in the BHS Student Council. You're treasurer, so you deal with the money.
Yes. So for Student Council, for me, it was more so like an opportunity for me to put myself out there because I'm not a very vocal person.
Oh, okay.
So it was really an opportunity for me to connect with my friends as well because we all ran as like a community and we all won, surprisingly. But like I picked the treasurer role because I'm really interested in math and like all the things that have to do with accounting and those stuff. Even though I am a science major, so it's a really different aspect of my field. But what really helped me in BHS is that I was able to do roles like student president, like for my classes, and I was also treasurer in my class, and then like vice president in my class. And then there's also things like the prefect community, and those are really roles that help me put myself out there to the student body and able to connect with them.
I'll ask you the same question that I asked earlier. What do you think it takes to be a leader among your peers?
To be a leader among my peers is meaning that you have the ability to present yourself confidently and have opinions that may be like controversial to some, but you have to find level ground with everyone and be a fair person, like overall. That's my biggest thing.
Oh, I'd love to hear more about some of those controversial opinions because young people have thoughts on various topics as well. And I imagine when you're running for something like student government, you want to have their voices heard as well. But even if you might differ in thinking, how do you approach that too, you know? But anyways, let's move things along because we are recognizing women and girls in the month of March. But beyond that, I think we should still be talking about that before the month of March and even after. Are you guys supported by women in leadership one way or another growing up? I don't know, do you have mentors as well? If so, tell me about that. What's that relationship like for you?
Definitely. I feel as if my mom is a very big aspect of how I came to be and do stuff, like the positions. Because when I was younger, my mom is Ghanaian, so she always used to have like street sales. And then she would like sell like our Ghanaian like attire or bags and such. So like from that young age, I started to make like relationships with people, that client to like sell their point of view. And then also my mom was always like, you like to talk. You should definitely talk up, you know? You say a lot of interesting stuff. Or she'll be like, it's always good to ask questions. If you meet someone new and you find them interesting, why don't you ask them a question? And I feel like that definitely pivoted me in like making relationships with people, because I love to like if I meet somebody new, like I just met Sarah.
Yeah, I know. She was like, hi.
Yes, like who are you? Like I want to know more about you. You seem really interesting, and I feel like just being able to, like I love to see where people come from. I like to hear their story, so I feel like my mom really helped me bring out that trait.
Yeah. Who's your mentor, Sarah?
I feel like growing up in sports, I feel like a lot of my coaches and of course my older sisters, they've helped me grow, they've helped me put myself out there and gain a lot more confidence, because you cannot be, like, I guess, an insecure person when you're playing. You have to be confident in like your abilities, and that definitely helped me grow. So when it came to like leadership opportunities in my school, I was like, I can do this.
That's an excellent point. How about you, Madison? Do you have a mentor or mentors?
I think one of my main mentors is my mother.
Okay.
So she's been like a single mom for like 6 years. So her aspect, because she's been really strong, and she's not afraid to say what she means. So anytime I'm anywhere, I just think, like, what would she say if this was bothering me?
Yeah.
So I help her in my head, like.
You know, a big part of highlighting women in the month of March is not only celebrating them, but acknowledging some of the challenges that they still face or that they would have faced in the past. And as I'm seated with leaders in their own right, one of the questions that I feel the need to ask is, do you feel supported to actually lead? And was there ever a point in your individual journeys, even if it's short or, you know, much longer so far, that you felt like people questioned your ability just because you were a girl? Any one of you ever felt like that?
That's interesting, because I have this friend who, like, when I started to do these leadership stuff, she was also really big on it. So she was there before me. And I remember that my school offers a food and nutrition course and a metalworks course. So she took the metalworks course instead of the food and nutrition. And a lot of people doubted if she was actually capable of actually succeeding. And she came in first in the class.
Wow.
And that's like her biggest overcoming story. Like, she always mentions it, like, don't be afraid if you're a girl to be able to branch out, to speak out. And I feel like just taking your own path. As for me personally, I haven't really experienced that. I'm really grateful that I have a community where I've just been around people that are very supportive of what I like to do. And they're always like, girl power, girl power. Like, our principal, Ms. Enriquez, was just like, the softball team, all the coaches are females. Like, that's impressive, girl power. So I feel like my school is very big on, you know, supporting girls and supporting everyone, women and girls.
How about outside of school? Have you ever witnessed perhaps women being questioned of their ability because they're female? You know, why are you deciding to do something like that? That's, a man would do that, or that's too much like heavy lifting, you know, something like that. Have you ever witnessed that?
Well, unfortunately, I low-key live on TikTok. So I've seen on TikTok that there's been a rise in blue-collar jobs instead of like actual office jobs. And I see that a lot of girls are entering this field. So this subsection was like basically saying that they will look for a male plumber more than a female because they feel like a male plumber will do the job better.
Yeah.
So I believe that on that side, I could see that there's definitely a shift. But I feel like the world is really progressing and we're really taking women seriously, and I'm really happy about that.
That's so good, and I love that you highlighted a female plumber as well, because last year we highlighted a female plumber for looking on the bright side. How about you, Sarah? Have you ever witnessed, you know, other females or even yourself being questioned of your ability because you're a girl?
I think going to an all-girls school does have its benefits because there's no boy there to lead.
Yeah, that must be like heaven, you know? We can do anything.
Right. So when you put yourself out there, the sisterhood is just behind you and they're all cheering for you. And there's not a reason to doubt you because you're a woman, because who else is going to lead, right?
Yeah.
So, but luckily I haven't experienced anything that people told me like I can't do because I'm a woman. Most of the time, I do a lot. So like they would be watching me and I'm like, here I am. Like,
you know, I have to say, I know Sarah a little bit more personally, and I think you just have such a unique dynamic because your household is outnumbered. You know, it's a lot of ladies there. And so I imagine you grew up very much being told that you can do anything because you have a lot of other girls around you. Your dad's the only male there.
he is the only male.
Yes. How about you, Madison? How has your experience been like, or have you observed other females just feeling like they are being told that they shouldn't or couldn't do something because they're a girl?
In what I've experienced, I personally haven't been told anything because I feel there's no one really that should tell you what to do. So in a lot of my schooling, and like every time I've been at BES and BHS, I've always had a female, either vice president, president, to lead. So they have really set in stone like how they should lead and how they have the ability to uphold against everyone. And then a lot of my friends, they're all confident in what they say. No one has been able to right them like a wrong or tell them that, oh, you can't do this because you're a girl. So it's like we're all very outspoken people in the fact that we don't let others' opinions unvalue us.
Do you think that there's a benefit or there's something extra that a woman or a girl brings when it comes to leadership?
I think there's definitely an extra
What do you
aspect.
think that is? Let the public know what we bring.
I think a lot of the times men don't think about how maybe their words could affect people. Like they're not very emotional people. Like they don't think how this could be worded as this. So I think women, they think a lot of different ways. So in that aspect, we can have what people say to us, we could take it a completely different way than we initially intended.
Yeah, some people might say that that's one of the negative things about a woman, though. But you're identifying that as a positive, being able to use your emotional and perhaps your nurturing ability to think before you speak or think before you act. You know, they also say that women are the best multitaskers, so we can think of various things all at once. How about you, Sarah? Do you think that there's something special that a female, or there's something extra that a female brings to the table when she's in leadership?
I think when a female is in leadership, I think things run a lot more smoothly because they think more in the future and they think about the actions and like all the effects, not just one or two. They think about everything. Like you said, like we think about multiple things. So I definitely think when a woman is in, every time a woman was in leadership when I was there, things went very smoothly and there was like no problem in anything. And being at SCA, our moderators are females. There's more female teachers than males, so we would see a difference in teaching and a difference in everything else, and we can see the power that women have when they get the ability to lead.
Yes. How about you?
I think they bring about a nurturing mindset, and they think they think much more about the women and the girls. Because I'm thinking about the president of Taiwan, I believe. And the minute you said that, I was just thinking about her and thinking about what Taiwan has. Like, she's really helped the country making relations, and I just really admire that. Women in power. I feel as if they really care about the country. They really care about women, because women also make up the country, bringing forth new people. Yeah. So I feel as if they really do.
I love that you're taking the conversation there. Is there any woman in leadership, both locally or internationally, that you truly admire and you aspire to lead like?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I would say our past principal, Miss Kanto, because when the minute you mentioned that, I was thinking about President of Taiwan. I was like, Miss Kanto. I remember that she's really God-fearing, so she was very big on God in our school, and also bringing forth that we should love others. And I just really admire the way how she's so compassionate and how she loves others, and she really cares for everyone.
Yeah. How about you, Sarah?
We had a past vice principal. She just retired. Her name is Miss Arlene Riverol, and she just retired in third form, so she's been there when I was in first. And seeing her, she's very much kind-hearted and compassionate, and she would listen to you, and she's definitely someone I aspire to be like, because she knows how to lead, definitely. And she was our academic affairs vice principal, and so she dealt with all that academic stuff. And just seeing her lead, but lead with such compassion, like, truly inspires me.
Yeah. How about you, Madison? Who's a leader that you admire? It could be political, it could be, international, or local leader.
I'll go local again. My teacher, Miss Carrillo. I think she's so young for how much she's accomplished, because she's always going to all our debate sessions. She's a teacher at BHS, and she's really young. And the fact that she's been able to accomplish all of this, I want to be that age and have under all of this under my belt, and be able to lead as much as she does.
Earlier we were talking about our ability to be nurturing as leaders, the ability to multitask and think way ahead. But one of the things I've observed when it comes to women in leadership is you could recognize that you have all of these sort of like superpowers at your fingertips, but there's still this idea in the back of your mind that if you get a little bit too emotional, they're going to say, ha, you're too emotional. That's why we don't like females in a leadership seat. Is that something that ever crosses your mind, or is that something that ever crossed your mind, where if you guys decide to pursue leadership even when you're older, that some of those very negative things that I just highlighted will be pointed back at you? The things that you see as positive, others see as negative. The fact that women are too emotional is a negative to some people as well.
When you said too emotional, what really came to mind was you can never be too emotional. Like, sometimes I get it that certain circumstances or certain situations causes for you to like be strong, but I definitely think that us leaning more into our emotional side brings in compassion. That's what makes us very compassionate. See, like for instance, if you see somebody is hurt and you feel that you're able to empathize with the person. So I believe that once you know how to balance it, and even though some people may think that, oh, she's too emotional, you could use that as your strength.
Yeah.
And I feel like you just need to be able to know how to channel it.
Yeah. But some might say, you know, when you have a business, when you're running a business, you can't be too emotional. Business is business. It's not personal, ever. What do you say to that person?
Like I said before, I believe there's a balance.
Yeah.
You have to be able to add an emotion to everything because we're humans. Every human has an emotion. And in selling, I believe there's this certain standpoint that you have to be able to cater to emotion to be able to get somebody's attention.
Yeah.
So I believe that that business person should be able to know how to perfectly balance off playing off emotion with their customer services.
Yeah. Well, I want to switch things over now and talk about what you guys are planning to do with your leadership roles that you have representing your respective schools. Madison, you are treasurer. Tell me a bit about what BHS is currently doing right now as student council and how you are supporting and what you plan to do as well.
So currently right now, BHS, our elections have just come out. So they opened the forms, so other people are applying right now. So
you are at the tail end then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it's my senior year, so this is
so it's done. Oh, well, I need you to reflect a little bit with me. Tell me about what this tenure has been like.
Okay. So as the treasurer, a really important part has been managing like the budget of everything. So ensuring that we don't go too over or that we make profit. So
Did you guys make profit?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, good.
A lot of the things we do are like bake sales and then like fun days. So we have a lot of different events at the school. Like sometimes people have trampolines or like paintings, like sessions. So as the treasurer, I've been able to help us remain in budget mostly. And like, cause we always have to go to like A&R to buy stuff for like a prop or something. So it's one of the very important parts of the student council.
Do you give advice to who's coming on, you know, some tricks, some tips on how to manage?
So our current president, Anthony Leslie, he was the treasurer the year before.
Oh, we know Anthony.
Yeah. So like, if I ever have something to ask, I could just ask him, like, cause he's the one who like gave me forms initially. So that's what I'll do when I'm done being the treasurer. So I'll pass it on to whoever comes next.
Yes. How about you, Sarah? I know that you just assumed your title as president, but what has that been like so far, and what are the plans that you have specifically?
So yes, the elections just finished, and now that I am president, I think with my experience from being secretary last year, I can definitely build bigger events, bigger connections with people, because the president is kind of like the bridge between like the moderator and the student body, or like the student council as well. And you need to have like a lot of communication skills, but with my experience from last year, I know what to do now and I know how to do it better.
You had a whole manifesto, girl, when you did your campaign. She was like, and we are planning to do this and this. And there was like a lot of different camera angles as well. Remind us again of some of those things that you mentioned in your campaign that you are planning to bring to your school.
So we definitely want more school spirit. I definitely want to put out like more events, more fun days as well. I just want to see like the sisterhood of everyone, and just to build a connection and build memories as well, because high school isn't forever. It's just 4 years of your life. Like, these two are seniors already, and like it just goes by so fast. So to have more events and to have just more school spirit in general, it makes you want to look back and was like, wow, that was very fun, and like all the memories.
Okay. And how about you? Because your role, I think, is in a way, I really admire the Peer Helpers program. I remember when I was in high school being a part of that, being a part of the prefect program as well. And I think there's something so special about having a body of students that's there to bring that emotional support and that extra air to their peers. Tell me about what you've been doing as an executive member and how that differs from a regular member.
Okay, so I became an executive after I was president, and basically we oversee events and we also plan events. So I planned my school Powder to Powder Fest.
What's Powder to Powder?
So basically, Powder to Powder, that's the only drug we're gonna do in light of Drug Week.
Wait, say that again. What?
Powder to Powder, that's the only drug we will do.
Powder to Powder, that's the only drug we will do. Okay, continue from there. All right, I'm with you now.
In light of Drug Week, I decided to create a FET initiative at my school in partnership with UNICEF, as I'm a UNICEF ambassador.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I feel like this is a perfect way to be able to explain, like, drug abuse, because you know that a lot of drugs come in like powder substances.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is gonna be fun, and instead of actual drug powder, we had color powder.
Oh, so you guys were having a party.
Like a juvet. Oh. So I took inspiration from like a Trinidad powder fete, and I was like, I love this. So basically we had fun music, a fun time, and everyone like basically threw up their powder. I was like, powder to powder, that's the only drug we had.
Those are some really cool ideas. You know what? When I think of like what these kids are coming up with, it's so innovative. Just the title itself, it grabs your attention.
Yeah.
Are there any types of activities that you guys came up with that caught the students' attention that they gave feedback on in that way?
An event we did last year was our talent show. So it was an initiative by my friend Caius. He wanted to do a talent show to display everyone's talents, and he made it open to all the participants in the school. And it was a really thing, because we had talent shows when I was a freshman, but there hadn't been one when I was a sophomore or a junior, so we brought it back for the last year.
I love that. Now, we are going to quickly introduce our newest guest that came to the table. We have here with us Melody Magani. She's the Vice President of the Sadie Vernon Student Council. Good morning, Miss Magani. It's a pleasure having you here with us this morning. I just want to get a brief introduction of, yourself as a leader and why you decided to be vice president, why you decided to run as vice president for your school.
Well, I'm a host right now, but I'm still here. So
she said she's got a laryngitis.
Yeah. So why I've become the vice president council, because I know I can be a leader and a good example to others, lead them the right way, as well as that I would want others to grow with me as well. I don't want only to grow for me, but for others as well. I'm very humble, resilient, authentic, and I'm very dedicated to what I do, and I'm here to grow as well. Like I said, I'm not all perfect, and I'm still learning along the way, and yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'll give you a minute to take a breath. I know this is very exciting, a lot of nerves, including the stairs you probably came up on, right? Whenever you have, though, people in leadership this early in their lives, one of the obvious questions that they ask, and I know because I was asked that when I was in your, age range or age bracket as well, they would ask you, you don't want to run for politics when you get older?
Yes.
Have you guys ever gotten a question like that?
Yes.
No? Okay, Sarah, you haven't. How about you, Madison? No? Okay. Well.
Yes, definitely.
And
that's
what do
a
you
very
say?
big thing. I never know what the future holds for me, and I take life every day, one step at a time. So if I do step into politics one day, that's gonna be interesting. But as of now, I'm not really into it. But I feel as if they feel that leadership only manifests through politics. There's many other ways you could lead. I really admire the people that are behind stage. Like, I would like to talk about my school social media page, because that's something that we definitely brought up when I was in third form, me and my friends, and it's really manifested. Like, we got 400,000 views on one of the videos. And
no man, uno buy some man views. I don't believe it.
And we were sorry, just like Melody, I'm hoarse. And we were really able to.
You're good. You're good.
We're really able to meet a different demographic of people, because we were able to get people from Brazil, Trinidad, and other Caribbean countries, and that was really fun. The whole concept of our video basically was just giving compliments to different people in our school, and that blew up, and we were like, guys, it's blowing up. Like we
went
happy.
viral.
Yeah. And I just want to say shout out to the people behind the scenes of the school social media club, Adriana, Diana, Gianni, Jazzy, Izmir. You guys are really, like, they don't like to show their faces, but they're behind, and they video, and they're always such a good sport about it. And then they're like, you go in front, you say it. I'm like, okay. So people behind scenes.
So the concept was you guys went to people and just gave them compliments?
Like, okay, so if we like something about you, we're going to write it down, and then afterwards we're going to give it to you. And then we're going to get your reaction. We did teachers, we did students, and it was a nice way to engage.
I need to go and look for that video. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's really cool. Now, you also spoke of the Poda to Poda initiative. And I'm trying to get an understanding of the roles and how they differ, because you said that there's the peer helper program, but that also kind of feels very student council too. So do you guys work alongside each other as well?
Yes. So the school student council body is something that's new. It happened when I was in, I believe, 4th form.
Okay.
And the peer helpers have been around for much longer. I believe that...
So they're the OGs.
Yeah, we're the OGs. But not to bring down student council, I still love their initiative. I believe they take on much more like everyday student life, whereas the peer helper goes on for bigger events. And yes, we do collaborate.
Okay, that's cool. Well, let's talk about some of the ideas that have been coming out of Sadie Vernon Student Council, because now we have fresh leadership, right? We have Vice President Melody at the table, and she has fresh ideas. What are some of the things that you are bringing to your school?
I heard her earlier about a talent show. Sometimes we do have those type of things to showcase others' talent. So we do participate in the arts festival, as you all know, to help our students, our classmates, you know, and to grow them as well, their confidence. And know some students are lack of confidence because you know they're probably shy or stuff like that. But I believe everyone can overcome and grow and have enough confidence. As I'm still here, but
Was it scary to put yourself out there and say that I want to be leader of my entire school? I want to be the vice president?
Yeah, it's scary, and sometimes it's hard because you get a lot of bad, negative.
What are some of the things that they told you? We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah,
what did you get?
Some of them would say that they act like I'm perfect, or
you act like you're perfect?
Yeah, so I would say, I'm ashamed to say, I'm a Christian, so I try my best to have my standards up, and
we love that.
So a lot of people would look back on me for that, but as I say, I'm not perfect. I'm growing as well, and I'm just here to help others grow too, so yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, I mean, it sounds like they're not necessarily targeting the fact that you're female, but the fact that you carry yourself with a certain level of principle, and sometimes when they can't find something, they make up something to really just target you on. Ladies, as we wrap up this conversation, I want to ask if you have any particular, perhaps, memory of this journey so far that made you really think to yourself, this is worth it. I am doing this and it's worth it. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. How about you, Sarah? What's yours?
So last year we did the seniors program for the outgoing seniors, and we did color jam, which was basically like paint and powder.
You guys love a good paint and powder party, it sounds like.
So when we did that, we obviously had to work the event as well because we were doing bake sale, but seeing how excited the seniors were about it, because it was kind of like a surprise.
Okay.
And each class had to do like a dance or a skit, but most class does like dance, right? So seeing how excited the seniors were definitely put a smile on my face. And after, we had like leftover water balloons, and the student council itself, when we were cleaning up, we had a little like water balloon fight, and it was just such a good moment. And I was like, I like this. Like, I want to do this again.
Yeah,
And,
it's wholesome.
Right. And not only the seniors, seeing like everybody else's face from the entire student body, like it was such a amazing program, and I hope we can top it this year.
Yeah. Well, you have one more year of high school, so
Yes.
definitely soak it all up. But we have our two ladies beside you that they are wrapping up their high school experience. No, you are wrapping up. You're in fourth form. Madison, what was a moment in your memory that you told yourself, wow, this is worth it. I'm right where I'm supposed to be?
I think one of the main things that has made student council, like one of the main things that I've been so appreciative of, is that I've got to do it with my friends. So for a lot of us are seniors, so it was our last time to do anything for our student council and like organize an event. Our student council, we do the bake sales, we do talent shows, we did fun days, and it's all been opportunities for us to help them, because when we were students, we'd always want like maybe a surprise casual day on Friday. Like we just take any chance to have a little bit of fun during all these times studying. So as student council, that's been one of our main goals throughout the year.
And that's what made you feel like, you know what, I'm a part of something bigger. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, because I'd always want to be able to receive like what I get. So like when I was a student, we would always appreciate those moments a lot. So as student council, that's been one of the main things that we've done.
And how about you?
Definitely when people come up to me, or just younger students, first formers coming up to me and they're like, I really like what you're doing. I want to be just like you when I get in fourth form. I'm like, what, me?
Little old me?
Yes. And then I just remember myself in first form looking up to those fourth formers who were doing such amazing things at my school. And I was just like, wow, this is really worth it. And also the social media club, when we started to blow up, I was like, wow, imagine like a little dream. Like I would say to anyone, if you have an idea, if you want to do anything, I think you should just take that step. That idea is your first step to actually produce content or do whatever.
Yeah. And Ms. Magani, we're going to come back to you. I don't know how long your tenure has been so far, but have you had any of those magical moments that we just described where you realize this is worth it?
Yes, Mom. I've been here. This is my last year as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, well, I'm a very understanding person. So if anyone needs my help, they can come to me and talk to me. So have students coming to me and talking to me about, their problems, their situation. I'm there to give them advice about, you can overcome this, and you know what to do, how to overcome it as well. So I had great moments at the school being a student council, and it really improved me as well. I'm very happy and to know that I'm there to help others where I've been at, and I can, encourage them as well, stuff like that. So it's been great.
All right. Well, ladies, we are out of time, but I had such a wonderful time just learning a little bit more of your individual stories. I'm excited to see what you guys will go on to do, especially the ones graduating. I imagine you have big dreams, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be reading one of your names or all of your names in leadership somewhere in the country or even outside the country. Sarah, I'm excited for you for your last year of high school next year. And soak it all up. This is an amazing experience, and you only get to experience high school once. So good luck to you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We have to take another quick break, but don't go anywhere. If you guys felt a little left out of the conversation, only being able to comment online, that's fine, because when we come back, you guys get to call in and share your thoughts on local news.
Flying is fun, but it can also be dangerous. Fly kites safely by following these tips. Never use wire, metallic thread, or wire-reinforced strings. You could be electrocuted. Remember, even a safely built kite can cause a power outage if it gets caught in a power line. Always use paper, plastic, or wood to build kites. Never fly kites near power lines, in the path of traffic, aircrafts, or near highways. Always fly kites with a responsible adult, in open areas, in dry weather, and with clear visibility. Never attempt to remove your kite from a power line. Always call BEL at 0800-235-2273 if your kite gets caught in a power line. Belize Electricity Limited. We care about your safety.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include cath lab, adult intensive care unit, neonatal intensive care unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
Get your body sculpted with gym equipment and accessories from Benny's. Quality and savings.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned with us. All the beautiful faces have left the set, and well, now you'll have to deal with this face. So I'm sad for you, and I'm talking to our faithfuls that are always commenting. But nonetheless, we want to get into our call-in segment this morning.
Yeah.
And I know our viewers are locked in because some people have some strong opinions on the gas prices.
Yes, they do.
Some people have some very strong opinions on the Cuban Medical Brigade. I know I heard some of the opinions from the UB students earlier this week. People also have some strong opinions on the proposed Budna prison swap, which
they just have strong opinions on Budna.
Yeah, and the strong opinions on Budna.
Yeah.
Well, that prison swap doesn't seem to be something that will take any shape or form based on our conversations with the Minister of Foreign Affairs yesterday. So the phone number to call in is 280-0016. We want to hear your thoughts this morning on any of these topics or any other topic. You could let us know. We want to even, I think one of the questions I want to put to our viewers where gas prices is concerned is what options do you think the Briceño administration has at its reach right now in terms of addressing the high cost of fuel and then the rippling effects of that? Sabrina, we're already beginning to see the rippling effects of that.
And we spoke about that last week as well.
So we're talking about fertilizer prices increasing now. We were looking out to see what will happen with transport, the cost of transport, public transportation.
Food vendors.
I think it's only imminent where the rise of public transportation costs.
Yeah,
food
for sure.
vendors.
Restaurants.
Then got conversation about tacos price to go up.
But that was already in conversation before.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is the perfect excuse now.
Yeah, and then also people are wary about price gouging as well, and the possibilities of that. So the question remains, what options are on the table? Because when you begin to think about the rising cost of fuel, you think about, for example, the agriculture industry. Let's take one industry. Let's take the sugarcane industry, for example. They operate heavily using trucks, right? And the more that a farmer has to invest in fueling his truck, the more that they have to invest in fueling machinery, in fueling equipment, then the more they lose, essentially. And nobody is in it to lose. And so it kind of creates an imbalance in the scales in a important industry like the sugar industry that adds annually to our GDP, that adds annually to our foreign investment income and our foreign currency that we have here in Belize. You could also think about the tourism industry as another example. Think about tour operators. They invest heavily in fuel. If you are looking at tour operators that go out on the boats and they take hundreds, thousands of tourists per week out on the boats and back and forth on the water, those tour operators that utilize buses and they travel across the country to these different sites. Again, they likely have to invest a lot more in fuel now. And in investing more, it means that they make less. And when they make less, they take less home. So then they purchase less at the grocery stores. And they have to curtail their spending. So the grocery store makes less. And then the grocery store employees make less. And the grocery store employees take less home. Yeah. And this is kind of how it works.
It's a domino effect.
It's a domino effect. And just at the but at the highest point, we're talking about an industry, the tourism industry, that rakes in millions of dollars annually in foreign investment. So you don't want it to be a case where tour operators or tour guides feel like their backs are against the wall and they have to scale back in their operations. They have to say, well, we have to take less tours, right? And we can't cater to as much tourists as we used to cater to because it's just unsustainable, the amount of investment we have to make versus in comparison to the returns that we're receiving. And if that is to happen, it will be a huge blunder for a huge revenue generating, for especially foreign income, foreign investment, revenue generating sort of industry. And so the government of Belize has to look at ways where they can help to address this rising cost of fuel in agriculture.
Yeah.
They have to look at ways where they can help to address the rising cost of fuel and its impacts on the tourism industry. They have to look at ways they can address it with the bus industry and the national bus company.
One of the things, though, that I wanted to quickly highlight was a comment that was made, actually a call that was made by a viewer last week, where he highlighted the very same things that we were talking about, Paul, but also addressing the fact that when things normally rise, they don't normally fall, especially when we're talking the prices of food, for example, transportation. When we think of what we used to pay for taxis back in the day, you can no longer probably get a taxi cab for $7. The average is 10 and up. And so are we seeing just the cost of living in general probably skyrocketing in this space of time that this war is taking place? And then, of course, the possibility of it falling back down. What does that look like? I mean, people always say the cost of living go up but your actual salary does not.
Yeah.
And so how will you be able to adjust to that when it actually comes? The Prime Minister has said in the case of transportation and fuel, you might have to scale back and walk a little bit more or find other ways of moving around.
Yeah.
But that's just one area. When we think food, as you mentioned, just tourism and how that could impact the entire economy, we need to be having a bigger conversation about that and the possible solutions or adjustments that can be made to ease the burden on the general population.
And it's interesting to note that while we've listed out some major industries that are directly impacted and that brings in much important foreign exchange currency, we've been here before. So you may recall the 2022 Ukraine-Russia conflict.
Yes.
I don't know if you realize, but that took the oil prices on the global market to somewhere around $125 per barrel, right? We're not even there yet at this point in time, but according to a report I saw from Al Jazeera yesterday in speaking with experts and analysts in this field, there's projections that the price could peak at $150, $160 per barrel.
Oh my goodness.
So that is beyond what we saw in 2022. And so the Prime Minister perhaps wasn't misspeaking when he told the UB students earlier this week that
it's going to
go up even more. It's expected. That price there, and like April may explain, that price there where we see that price increase, that was on essentially old stock.
Mm-hmm.
And the Prime Minister is saying when a new stock comes in, then the prices will likely increase some more. But we were here in 2022, and we've been here before as well in years past, but the response from the Briceño administration at that time in 2022, when prices were skyrocketing at the fuel pumps, could give us some insight into what the likely proposal will be, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the things the Briceño administration did in 2022 is they fixed the prices on diesel and regular fuel at diesel and regular gasoline at the pumps. Fixed prices means we're going to cap it at let's say $13 or where it is right now, and we will not increase it. It won't decrease, of course, but we will not increase it beyond this point. So they fixed it. That's one option that many governments would take, and that's one of the things that they did in 2022. But apart from that, in 2022, the government also decreased their tax take on the import duty for fuel. Right, so where they were collecting some $3 to $3.50 on the import duty, that's when it lands at the port, and then you have to pay duty for it. They cut that down by almost half, and they began collecting $1.75 on the gallon. That way, that cost that is paid by the importer doesn't have to go to the fuel pumps and then passed over to the consumer. So those are two things that they did. They fixed the prices on fuel at the pump, and then they decreased that import duty. So those are two options left on the table for them. But they went beyond that. They looked at those very important industries that we're talking about here. They looked at sugar. They looked at banana in 2022. They looked at tourism as well. And they began subsidizing the cost of fuel that are purchased by stakeholders in these industries.
All right, we have, a caller. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
I feel compelled to say in a few things that you guys are discussing.
Yes, go ahead.
Fuel prices. So two things. First thing, I'm noting that we haven't really spoken about the loss of several $1 million from those GST-free weekends. That those keep the fuel tax high, and is one of the various ways to compensate for those weekends. And then, secondly, the DOB almost always does not earn as much as it expects to. So this is a direct impact of tax evasion, of course, corruption at customs, people that don't pay property tax, etc., and weak enforcement of mechanisms, but absolutely cannot evade tax on fuel. And so they're in a situation right now where they have to overcompensate for corruption in areas. So I feel like that's also something that needs to be discussed.
So you're saying perhaps stricter enforcement on taxes. As one example, we know that the government, you're saying, lost some money due to the GST-free weekend, so perhaps cutting
Absolutely.
that this year.
And of course now you have to
more?
compensate by paying more on your tax per fuel. And if you are not getting tax from property tax, from persons that evade tax on the PD forms and so forth, you're not going to be able to get back money. So there has to be stricter mechanisms or enforcement when people are not paying tax on other things.
Caller, I just want to ask you personally, what has been your reaction to the repercussions of what's taking place with this war? For example, and specifically to the gas prices going up. Is this something that is deeply concerning to you? And how are you planning to make the adjustments?
Yes. I feel like now I have to be able to walk to work because even though we live in the city, those speed bumps also take away from, fuel. You have to stop. If you're in a rush hour, you have to keep that fuel pumping even though you're not actually driving anywhere. So I would probably have to walk because I can't always rely on public transportation either.
Well, thank you very much for calling in and sharing your thoughts. We appreciate it. And I think that's some excellent points, that you just suggested and proposed. Thank you very much, caller.
Yeah, some excellent points made by the caller there, Sabrina. I think, though, that it's not lost on any government and even on the people that we are not collecting as much tax revenue as we should be collecting because a lot of people are evading taxes. And it's one of the conversations I had with economist Dr. Philip Castillo earlier this week in our conversations, because Dr. Philip Castillo's take is that this entire war and the price adjustments will significantly have an impact on the Brazilian administration's budget. He went as far as saying that the cost, the rising costs will pressure the Brazilian administration to go back and revisit and revise their entire budget. But one of the things he was saying also is that we are not doing enough as a government, and UDP, PUP, we have not been doing enough to be more strict in terms of, and more strategic in terms of how we collect the taxes that are owed, whether it's business taxes, whether it's income taxes, all these taxes, whether it's land tax and property tax, to kind of build up on our tax revenues.
Well, let's continue that conversation after this next caller. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, good morning, sure. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
We can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to change gears at the topic you guys speaking about, but this individual that you guys brought on the show, Bestie.
What's that? Oh, yes. Bestie. Yes, go ahead.
We don't have nothing against Bestie. If he gay or if he a trans, that's for him issue. But Bestie have to carry himself on a level where you have to understand that people are supporter, and you have to back up them people to support him or she. I don't know whether he or she. But I get to the point. Uno at News 5, if I'm not mistaken, open the eyes or so. So Uno push him. Uno there with him, but he's going to represent Uno. You have to carry yourself better in a way how you carry yourself, like cost, like that, all kind of nasty thing. You don't look good. Right? You don't look good. You have to farm up yourself better than the way how you carry up.
Well, but caller, just to be clear, when Bestie or Mr. Cortez came on the morning show, there wasn't a display of profanity. There wasn't a display of lewd behavior. There wasn't anything that went against our standards.
No, we're not.
I'm just saying that never happened on this platform.
What I'm saying is, then he looked like a fake, because when he on the street here, you know, they carry yourself good, right? You know, for make you, they on the street and in the community, they talk all kind of nasty stuff, and then you go for talk shows and the host and entertain this man. Well, you just asking questions and that's it. After questions, that's it. But like only to support this man. You understand? Just asking certain questions like where they deal with, where they find, what they remove. Like, but we are here to support you, bestie, and good on you, and anybody for some crazy kind of time, you know.
All right, caller. Well, we have.
I don't want make it just humble yourself.
Yeah. Well, we hear you, caller.
Kids their own, right? Basic thing. At the heart. If you gay, we don't got ungays. If you gay, right?
Yeah. All right, caller.
If I could
Thank
say
you
anything,
so much.
Make it carry yourself better than that, man. Huh?
Thank you so much,
Thank you very
caller.
much, caller.
This is a space for anybody to call and share their opinion.
If I could say anything on that topic, I want to remind viewers that that conversation was centered around the ability for persons who are living in this country to get their immigration status approved. When Mr. Cortez highlighted his story on Facebook, that went viral because he spoke from his personal experience of what it means to get a social security card and the opportunities that he now had to be legally employed in the country, a country that he has been living in for decades. And so if he has an eccentric personality, that's separate to him. That's not our place to say how he should, snap his tongue or speak loudly or speak vibrantly. And so I hear your thoughts, caller. Clearly, you feel a certain way about that, but it is not our position to say who comes on the show and presents themselves vibrantly or not.
And it was beyond the immigration issue. It was also to highlight what we highlighted in the news and on the morning show, the realities of living as a transgender in Belize, and we make no apologies for that.
Absolutely.
So, but thank you so much for your call, caller. So back to what's on the table for the Bresenio administration,
gas paying,
right?
gas prices.
So they fixed the prices, they lowered imports, things, import duty, things that they haven't done as yet. They haven't implemented any of this, and I believe that it is my view that we'll probably see some of this conversation happen at the budget debate next week, and I almost feel like the PM will lead the by proposing some of these very same measures, right? Because they're probably just going to draw for the same playbook. But what they did with these important industries is they implemented a fuel cost relief program where they began subsidizing the cost of, I don't know if you recall, where they were pumping $1 million plus here in the sugar industry, tell farmers to come for stubs and come get.
Even for the transportation industry,
for
the buses got that too.
Industries, they were telling bus operators, come get on the stub so that you could get one of this and fuel at the pumps to kind of, you have to
ease the burden.
Yes, you have to kind of manage the shock.
Yeah.
Because it's a shock. And when the shock hits you, it forces industry stakeholders and business operators and business owners to increase their costs, because then their cost of operations are increasing, so they have to increase their price.
But
so
if I could say
some of the things that they did.
If I could say anything specifically about the transportation industry, the public transportation industry, I'm interested to see what measures would be taken from the National Bus Company, for example, because we know that buses during that time immediately went into raising their fees for commuters. If you paid $2, you would have been paying $2.50. And so it would be interesting to see how they try to go about ensuring that commuters aren't affected.
Well, it may be easier now because you got structure, you got everybody under one umbrella, and as a result, you could implement something like a fuel relief program or a cost relief program with more structure, and it would be easier to kind of manage because then it's under the National Bus Company, right? And then you go on board and then could manage that. But what was interesting in 2022, and it goes back to a point that the caller made about taxes, what the government pointed out at that time, interestingly, was that with all of these reliefs that they were implementing, they lost from January of that year to June of that year, they lost $9 million in taxes, in tax revenue. And they projected that in continuing that sort of strategy and that sort of approach, that they were bound to lose $20 million in tax revenue throughout the entire year. That amounts to $55,000 a day in losses in tax revenue. So it goes back now to the point of the caller. How do we compensate for that loss? Some people say, well, we have to see what's going on with the Fiwi Bolido, right? Some people they say, and I take the caller's point, that this year we shouldn't even have any talk about free GST weekend. We have to take with Lake when the time for back to school. I don't think we could expect the government to take on the burden of losing those hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars in tax revenue. And then also tightening how we collect revenues, because $20 million in tax revenue losses, that's significant.
All right, well, we have another caller. Good morning, caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
The Prime Minister tell me how to cut back. So, then to start with themselves. With a lot of people that run about the place when they do nothing.
Tell me about
then to start to cut back. He may get $4,000 a month. You see? So you could start from there. Cut back, so they get $2,000 now. And you cut back. You have to start with yourself. You can't tell people what to do. And you know the watch yourself. Because all over this country, then government people run, and they run their own private business. You pick up this one, pick up that one, family member, the current Indian. So cut back. That's the way it starts with.
Carla, what the government says is that when you're sending a vehicle there, they run, you're supposed to take picture or video and report it. You think that's effective?
I don't got no time to waste. I don't got time to waste. Let me tell you something.
Tell me.
Now we remind them. That we remind them that they could say anything when they want because then they live a luxury lifestyle. So they could tell you any simpleness when they get my TV that we out here they take lick. When then they tell you the Prime Minister look right for an UB student and say they don't raise no tax. When you raise light bill, what happens? When you raise water bill, what happens? When you raise property tax, what happens? When you raise business tax, what happens? When you raise the price of fuel, what happens? All of those things are taxes. So nobody's stupid in this country. We take a lick. And not this another war because this is before the war got priced up. That this country, when the barrel of fuel is low, we still pay 20 per gas. Not making tell you no simpleness for war. When the war we out long time, then the bomb we out with a high fuel price. So anyway, start on themselves. Let them start to cut back and lower the price of fuel by taking less from the fuel tax. Well, take care. Have a great day.
Take care,
Thank
Carla.
you very much, caller. Take care.
All right, so this conversation on the fuel prices is really about what the options are on the table for the government. And so far we've heard from the people options that I didn't necessarily have in my notes that I think are good.
Yeah.
This caller is talking about cutting back.
Lead by example.
lead by example, essentially, in terms of the amount of runs, being more efficient with the use of government vehicles.
Perhaps allowances in some cases as well.
Cutting back on allowances, they're saying, so that there isn't that much spending on fuel. Because you know how it go, when that line the par F, you feel like, yeah, we could galavan, we could jolly ride.
Breeze out, leave it.
Yeah, and then when it soon reach here, your heart start panic because you have to go back to the pump, right?
Yeah.
And so, to the caller's point, he's suggesting that if we cut back on the use of government vehicles, that perhaps we could use some of that funds to subsidize the cost. I'm not sure how much government spends on fuel annually. That's something we could look into as well. But certainly, we've seen it happen, and I know they're trying to cut back on it, but we've seen it happen where even on weekends, government vehicles are running around, and you have to ask if they're doing the government's business or if there's personal business involved. I would love if on weekends I could just take one of the company vehicle there regularly every weekend and just drive out and go do my grocery shopping and go deal with my child and drive the Belmopan and go see fam. I would love that because you know what? One, the vehicle up to shape, more shape than mine, and two, me not have to spend money out of my pocket. But I don't have that luxury, and some people argue that government employees have that luxury and they take advantage of it, and as a result, it increases the fuel cost for government and that they pay.
Well, Paul, we do have to wind down this conversation. We have just about a few more minutes left, and so if anyone else would like to call in and share their thoughts, maybe they're in the kitchen right now discussing this with their loved ones and they feel the need to voice that publicly, we have just a few more minutes for you to call in and share that.
Yeah.
As we wind down this discussion, Paul, what are the questions that we should be asking ourselves? What are the questions that we should be asking the Prime Minister? We know that the budget debate will take place next week, and so we're going to hear a lot of performance speeches from each ministry. And then, of course, we're also going to be getting that rebuttal from the opposition side, essentially saying that whatever they're doing is not enough. But we have to find that middle ground and determine what feels true and what feels performative as well. But still asking what comes next. What's the reality? How will we manage?
Yeah, I think we have a call.
We have a caller coming in just a moment. We're going to set that up. All right, good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning. Good morning to you both.
Yes, go ahead.
This is related to the fuel, but tragically, we had a cyclist that was mowed down by a bus driver.
Oh, last night.
Yeah.
Yes. And you know, there are a lot of people who have to, well, some of them by choice or by need, have to go on bicycle or on bus because they can't afford cars. They just can't afford fuel. But then to have a tragedy like that where, you know, a bus takes the life of a teenager. I mean, this person has barely started his life. To me, or at least in my mind, and I've seen it in other countries, we need infrastructure for bicycles.
100%.
Belmopan has it, which is great. There's one out by Kamalote, I think, and I have to applaud the Minister for MIDH because they actually put the path on the other side of the drain. So if a car wants to mow you down, he has to go through the drain. But Belize, especially, and I tend to be biased towards the Belle Rive area because I know if we had proper bike paths from Boom Cutoff into Belize City, that would be a highway for so many bicycles. People going on, would be going to school, going to work, and you'd have a lot more commuters by bike. But unfortunately, we cater mostly to cars. Added to that, because I recently started to do some commuting by bicycle, trucks and buses tend to be the worst offenders in their courtesy towards, and I'm talking about everyday bicycle riders, the way how they graze you when they're riding. My wife is constantly concerned about me riding on the road, and I tell her, we have to do something about it. We can't give up the space just because we have bad actors in the bus driving industry or the truck driving industry. But I wish, and I'm pleading to the authorities, to start to encourage or to incorporate what I call pro-poor infrastructure into our infrastructural development. I mean, we see this in Amsterdam where well-to-do people ride to school, ride to work. It's a part of their life.
Yes.
And it saves them a lot of fuel costs. To me, that would be us planning for these kind of shocks when it comes to the world events, no?
All right.
But again, it's. I'm hoping we don't lose sight of the fact that it's the cyclists that are at risk here, and I wish we could do something about it.
Okay, caller. Thanks so much for that perspective.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with the caller about the need for upgraded infrastructure. I feel like every day we drive, walk, ride on bicycles along the highway, we're playing a game of Russian roulette, especially with our lives, especially in certain areas. But to your point, Sabrina, in terms of wrapping up the conversation we're having this morning on fuel prices, I think two things. What the people can't expect or shouldn't expect is what the government decided not to do in 2022, which is to take on a portion of the cost of importing the fuel. So aside from import duty, for them to take on a cost of what it takes to import the fuel, the cost of the fuel, to kind of ease the burden so that the fuel providers don't have to up their prices. They basically said, no way in hell we would do that in 2022. And so you don't expect them to do that. And then also in 2022, it didn't appear as if they decreased the tax take from fuel at the pump. So I don't know if you can expect that to be another option for them to look at and to seriously consider this year, because they were talking about how in 2022 they were talking about how much it would affect the budget. And again, that's the same sort of conversations we're having. They didn't decrease the tax take on the pumps in 2022, and we can't expect them to do that this year. I think one of the suggestions I would make to viewers and to just Belizeans at large, I would suggest that they reach out to their area representatives and that they would pressure, if you would, or make it clear that as citizens or as members in an area that they want their area representative in next week's budget to bring up the fuel prices and its effects as a priority concern for them, and to pressure their own government to really think about fast-tracking the implementation of any solution. So I think that is what I would recommend for people to do, because if you don't, it could be an issue where the representative just gloss over the issue and really focus on their ministries, and you lose the point of who elected you and why you're there in the House of Representatives, to represent your people, not to represent your ministry. And they're going to be talking about their portfolios, and they're going to be talking about a ministry budget when you should be talking about the impact on the lives of your people and how this money will benefit your people. And so that's what I would recommend for Belizeans to do.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Paul. And thank you to everyone else who joined in this morning for conversations, calling in and sharing their thoughts. At this time, we do have to take a quick break, but I know that we have kind of like a teaser that we want to jump to. I know that it's also the Easter season as well.
Yes, so have you made your plans for Easter? If not, we have a couple ideas for them, right, Sabrina?
Yes, we do. Let's go to that right now. And then when we come back, we have a game that we're going to jump into as well. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, my name is Hippolyto Novello, and we're here at Boca Arena Rainforest Resort and Adventures. We came here for three things: rappelling, zip lining, and to have a fun and memorable experience. And guess what? we're taking you with us to show you why is it that you should come here at Boca Arena Rainforest Resort and Adventures.
This is Butterfly Falls. Stunning, isn't it? This is also only one of the many amenities you'll have access to if you stay at Hidden Valley Wilderness Lodge. All right, so we are about to place our lamb.
Yes, we want to get it right here. We use some nice silk grass coconut oil. And while he gets that nice and brown on the fogon, you notice everything on fire hard there? Woo! Beautiful, Joe. You like that sound?
Yes.
All right. And then I'm going to put some coconut oil here on the plancha. Woo! And we are getting this nice and hot though. Look how the lamb looks, Sabrina!
Oh my gosh.
Sabrina, look how it looks. Where you stand? Where you stand?
I'm good, I'm good, I'm good.
All right, let's go lower. 1, 2, 3, lower, lower, lower. Hold on, my one stop here. You chica. It's the fire hot. Fire the unit. Yes. Top, bottom side. 15 minutes. I think you're ready. You want to check, chef?
Let's see.
Let's see.
So we have over here, what do we have in this one?
This is the Johnny cake. Activated charcoal Johnny cake. Imagine this with a leaf fried fish on Good Friday,
Look
bro.
how soft this is, my goodness.
Good Friday, one leaf fried fish. Come on, chef. Come on, good. Beautiful.
You did great. This is perfect. This
Now
is
we're going to check
amazing.
the pudding. Fire hot
Oh
again,
my
you know.
gosh.
100%. Look at the caramelization.
That is beautiful.
Look at the caramelization. The cassava got the sugars and everything. Just
Chef,
I can't explain
I
it.
am more than impressed. Wow. Let's dig in.
Let's dig in. Cassava pudding.
Look at that crunch. Hear that crunch.
Oh, it looked.
on the tropical paradise of Placencia, Belize, where the water is crystal clear, the sun is still shining, and the snorkeling is world class. Join us on an aquatic adventure with Go See Tours. So let me head in, grab my fins, slap on some sunscreen, and head out.
We're currently at the Gladden Split Silk Key Marine Reserve, which is located about 20 miles due east of Placencia village at the main barrier reef. You have a lot of beautiful corals, reef fish, and the main part, or the main attraction, is the little area we call the turtle area, where we normally see some nurse sharks and stingrays and loggerhead turtle. So you get to actually snorkel with them, get in the water with them, swim around.
Reiki is a captivating tropical gem with a private resort, offering a serene and exclusive escape. The island's name, Ray, takes on a delightful dual significance as a nod to the captivating marine life that graces its surrounding waters.
And so today we are at the Maya World Adventure Park, and of course I am with my lovely wife Amber Lopez. And at the Maya World Adventure Park there's so many things to do. You have cave tubing, you have waterfalls, you have horseback riding, you have the ATV jungle tour. What are you looking forward to the most today?
Today we are doing the ATV jungle tour and the river tubing. I am most excited for that cool river tubing.
I, for one, definitely am excited about the ATV jungle tour. Are you ready to just jump right into this?
Ready as ever.
Let's do this.
Let's go.
Man, this has been an exciting ride so far. Woo!
updated your information recently? Well, kick off the new year as a winner. RF&G Insurance is giving you a free chance to win every month. Entering is easy. Just chat with us on WhatsApp and update your information. That's it. You'll be automatically entered into our monthly raffle for a chance to win awesome prizes. Don't wait. Message us on WhatsApp and update your info today. RF&G Insurance. It pays to get it right.
Smart for everybody. Smart leading everything. Smart give you everything. Smart offer everything. Smart give you everything. North to the east and the south and the west. Smart are the best. Darling, double up my data and give me all the text. In fact, give me a plan for my family. Unlimited calls, so me like it. And Smart make everybody feel happy. Bringing people together, me want it now. Smart got love for everybody. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. More bundles, data plan. Me want my smartphone, internet in my hand. Cause me want my Smart plan. Want it right now. Smart. Stay connected. Stay happy.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
Welcome back. We are continuing along the show, and I love those nostalgic activity-based ideas. Man, Paul, we've really done a lot of adventure stuff here with Open Your Eyes as well. I saw some flashbacks of me a couple years ago. You and Amber, that looks so fun. Hippolyta, our producer, Vianney as well, also making the cut.
What year was that? That was the one that we went to Maya World was 2024. That was like late.
I feel like all of them were like 2024. We had a busy 2024, and it feels so much longer. But no, that was just like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago.
We have a busy every year.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
But we have a super fun activity to jump into this morning, a game, if you will. We're calling it the Ultimate Counting Game.
Because we only got about 5 minutes, so
and that's all we need. I think it's like a really cool memory game as well. So the idea is we're going to be counting from 1 to 10. But after every cycle of counting, we are going to replace a number with whatever you decide. So you could replace one with a different word, or you could remove a number completely. You could switch around a number.
You could just say silent. Like if
you could do that, you could say one is not in the cycle anymore, and then we have to remember that and move along. So we're going to start counting from 1 to 10, taking turns.
Use a sound.
Exactly, you can use a sound. Yeah, you can maybe say, for the number 5, we're gonna clap. Something like that, or you can replace it with a word.
All right.
And so,
a dance move maybe?
You could do a dance move even, whatever you want to do.
Replace the number
anything
with.
you could replace the number with.
When I get that number, I have to do the action or the sound.
If it falls on you. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then if I say number 5, it's gonna be a clap. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we move things along
don't say 5.
until we get to 10.
Okay.
And if you mistake and you say what you're not supposed to say, then of course, that's
with a bigger crowd, you're out.
Yeah,
right?
You would be out. Yeah. All right. So let's go.
So we're not out today. We're
just gonna try to remember.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So let's begin with just counting in general. 1,
2,
3,
4,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10.
All right.
So how do you change it now?
So you're gonna say we will replace what
One
number
number.
you decide.
Oh,
it does
what
not have to be
number? Oh, it doesn't have to
one.
be in order.
With whatever you want.
Okay, 1.
With what? What do you want to replace that with?
Nothing. Yeah, this is a 1.
But you have to put a command in between. So you want to
1 is 1.
Okay, so all right. So make it interesting though. Okay then. 2.
I was giving you the
2.
first opportunity. 3 is 3.
4.
5 is...
No. You only do it once. For every cycle, you only change it once. So you
Yeah.
decided if you want to change 1 as 1, you're going to keep that way, and then we just continue along.
All
so,
right,
I'll change the command.
yes,
then. So,
right,
so we're
I'm
going to
giving you the
replace
lead.
number 4 with oink.
All right, so we start the counting with you saying what you will replace first.
Yes. So when we're done, and when we reach to 10, I'm going to say
We're
we'll
gonna
replace a number with this command. So
Okay.
once we get to 4, we're not going to say 4 anymore. We're going to say oink.
good. So at the start of the
Okay.
counting.
So let's begin now.
1,
2,
3,
oink,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10.
All right, we're gonna replace 2 with,
Okay.
right? 1, 3,
Oink,
5,
6,
7,
8,
9,
10.
All right.
We're
your
gonna
turn.
make 7.
Okay. So, yeah. Okay. All right, let's do it.
Okay, 1, 3,
Oink.
5,
6, 8,
9.
10. All right, we're gonna replace 9 with a little shimmy.
A shimmy, okay.
Yeah, right, 9 with a little shimmy.
All right.
All right. 1, 3,
Oink,
5,
6,
yee,
8, 10.
All right, good. We have to, man, it's
Okay.
harder for remember
Yes, it's
now.
gonna get harder. Okay,
All right.
so we're gonna replace 3 with yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Yeah. 1, 3.
You
Oh,
just
sorry.
know to replace 3 with
Yeehaw.
oink,
5.
6, 8, 10.
Okay.
All right, so this time we're gonna replace 10 with.
What? Okay.
Correct. Good? That's good?
Yeah, go.
All right, 1, 3, no.
Oink.
Oink, no. Yeehaw! All right, let's do that over.
Okay. 1. Yeehaw.
Oink,
5.
6, 8. All right, good. So,
Oh my
your
god.
turn now.
Okay,
You
let
have
me
like
see.
1.
So 5 is not in the
no,
number cycle
6
anymore.
either. Oh, really? Okay,
taking
5
it
is
out.
not. You're taking 5
Yeah.
out completely. All right, good.
1. Oink. Nope.
No.
1.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
4. Oink.
6.
7 is. No. 7. No, we didn't do nothing for 7.
Isn't 7?
Yeah. Then
8.
8. Then 9 at the shimmy.
And then 10
10.
is.
All right, like they suck up something. All right,
noodles.
so we want to take out 1 to then.
Okay, so.
Oink. No. Yeehaw. That's 3.
Okay, then oink.
4. 6. 8.
Okay.
We're good. We're
We
getting there.
got it.
All right. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 6 and 7 for replace.
Okay,
now.
so 6 is what?
6 is 6, 7.
Oh gosh, Pa.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Yeehaw!
Is it?
Yes, that's 3.
Yeah. Okay. Then 4 is oink.
6, 7.
7. That was
8, 9.
Okay, so now we have to replace 8.
7.
No, 7 is, okay, so 7. So 7 is, 7 is,
Because
7 is,
8 is, right?
7 is, you heard?
You heard?
You heard?
All right, so we have all the numbers
Okay,
now.
let's go.
Right? So,
We have,
that's 2. Yeehaw!
oink.
6, 7. You just changed it.
You heard?
You heard? There you go.
It's a horse's
Oh.
name. Yeah. Whew, all right, we survived.
Was
Man.
that good? Did we do that good?
We did it. We got it right. Okay. Well, that's a game that you guys can play, and we'll take another quick break, and when we come back, we wrap things up.
Yeah.
Man, that's me. My data done, and I really need to get my order out today.
Really? Well, you can join our Smart Group plan.
Really? How that work?
Easy, let me tell you.
Whether it's family, friends, or your small business, we've got the perfect plan for every group. More members equals more savings, more connections. Smart group plans bring the connectivity you love to you and your circle. No one gets left behind. Explore Share One package options and add on unlimited data, calls, and SMS for the entire group for less than $50 per member. Visit any Smart showroom countrywide or email sales@speednet-wireless.com to sign up today. Smart, bringing people together.
What happens when you step off the edge?
Too late to back out now.
He said I'm ready. No, I'm not. And land somewhere unexpected. Sometimes it breaks you open. Wild at root,
That is very bitter.
but sweet on the tongue. Where history calls out, and you answer with open arms. This isn't just a journey, it's across borders.
That was amazing!
Fans are filling up the gyms to see exciting NEBL games. And this weekend, Week 5 showcase 3 mega matchups. On Friday night, the Belize City Defenders try to keep the Corozal Spartans winless with a must-win game to stay in the hunt for the 70K at the Belize Civic Center. Then on Saturday night, another mega showdown at the Belize Civic Center as the number 2 team, the Fighting Tiger Sharks, goes up against the rough and tough Dan Grigga Dream Ballers in a war. And in Cayo at the Victor Galvez Stadium, who run the West as the rolling Cayo Western Ballers goes up against the Belmopan Trojans. The NEBL girls giveaways along with the National Sports Council halftime $5,000 shooting challenge. So this weekend, make it another NEBL weekend, sponsored by the government of Belize.
All right, we are wrapping things up. We want to say thank you to everyone who joined us. You guys for locking in, calling in, commenting as well. It is March 20th, and if you're celebrating a birthday today, happy birthday to you. If you'd like to give a birthday shout out, or if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send us an email at oye@greaterbelize.com.
You can also catch us live on on Facebook. That's Open Air SBC. We also have Instagram for all behind the scene content. That's OYE Belize sorry. And then we have TikTok, a new addition to our social media family. That's openyoureyes.bc.
And we have a phone number that you can call or text. That's 675-2555. But please do us a favor and join us again on Monday when you open your eyes
and start your morning right.
Until then, keep your eyes, your mind,
and your hearts open.
Have a wonderful Friday and a safe weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank, our country, your bank, and Smart, bringing people together.